Imagine this. You followed every rule, meticulously crossed every T, and dotted every I. You've showered her with attention, respected her boundaries, and listened intently. You, the steadfast guardian of a perfectly constructed relationship, have done everything right. Yet one day, it all evaporates, her interest wanes, and she drifts away in a mist of indifference. The question echoing in your mind is piercing. Why does this happen even when you seemingly did everything right? The enigma of a woman's fading interest is both paralyzing and provocative. Akin to a lightning storm within the soul, unexpected and fiercely mesmerizing, it's a paradox, and woven within it is the secret tapestry of female psychology and the age-old dance of evolutionary dynamics. You see, the reality is far from what conventional wisdom has led you to believe. It isn't about getting it right on the surface. There exists an undercurrent, a subliminal layer of allure and perception, often invisible, which dictates the tale of attraction and connection. To unravel this intricate web, we must first navigate the realm of female attraction that intertwines seamlessly with the underpinnings of biological fact. Nature has endowed women with instincts refined over thousands of years, guiding decisions that often sidestep conscious thought. It's in the silent signals expressed in a nuance, the coded language of pheromones and body language, that attraction bears its true face. Female biology is engineered to recognize these subtle cues, always in search of leadership, protection, and the subliminal promise of superior genetic material. An enticing cocktail of hormones triggers these responses, a primal dance choreographed through the ages. As a man vying for dominance in the complex arena of romance, one must acknowledge the untold secret that doing everything right only scratches the surface. The blueprint of attraction extends beyond the visible, beyond the acts of kindness catalogued by society as guarantees for affection. You're navigating an ancient landscape littered with instinctive traps and pitfalls, a place where doing everything right may, ironically, signal exactly what's wrong. The very act of predictability, of calculated perfection, might eclipse the essence of your masculine allure, surprise, mystery, and the very uncertainty that wakes the primal senses within her. Attraction, my friends, isn't merely a choice, it's a biological imperative, a neurological trigger that's fired long before conscious thought takes hold. Neurology tells us that our brain's limbic system, the emotive powerhouse, controls these deep-seated urges. Women, whether knowingly or subconsciously, will always be drawn to that which stirs their emotions, and a man molded strictly by rational permanence risks dulling those senses meant to ignite. Have you ever wondered why the so-called bad boys capture hearts, often leaving a wake of bewilderment in their rebellious retreat? Love, it seems, is less about ticking boxes and more about eliciting a roller coaster of emotions. The evolutionary dynamics at play favor men who represent thrill and challenge, an enigmatic quality that keeps women perpetually engaged. Fear of loss, an innate catalyst, sharpens desire. The complexity of human attraction defies the simplicity of just getting it right. And so, despite society's constant echo of conventional logic and reason, we must delve deeper, acknowledge that to maintain lasting interest, a man must weave layers of unpredictability, to draw her into a narrative of emotional mastery where the ending is never truly written. Each interaction becomes a signal, a biological pulse keeping the heart engaged and the mind forever curious. This is the symphony of seduction, a narrative steeped in both simplicity and profundity. You must understand the biological signal that commands attention, the nuanced rhythm that dictates desire. Only by embracing the paradox can one emerge unscathed from the illusion that simply doing everything right is the keystone of attraction. Yet, as we inch closer to the fraught crossroads of understanding, you sense an unsettling unease. This is only the beginning of an odyssey into the female psyche, the depths of which promise revelations that defy ordinary comprehension and unlock doors to a realm where mastery reigns supreme. You find yourself standing on the precipice of a greater understanding, with a quiet storm of curiosity brewing within. The journey up to this point has only just begun, and your desire to delve further into the secrets of the mind's darker corners remains unquenched. The realization that doing everything right isn't enough lingers, reverberating through the corridors of your mind, holding you captive in its mysterious embrace. The stage is set for a deeper plunge into the labyrinth of female psychology, where every secret unfolded offers a glimpse into the heart of the paradox. Yet this truth, this awakening, leaves its mark, a trail you are now destined to follow. As you stand at the threshold of a new revelation, prepared to journey deeper into the heart of the enigma, the profound realization settles upon your consciousness. Attraction, in its raw and untamed form, is a complex symphony of invisible forces. The labyrinthine corridors of the female psyche unfold before you, revealing a theater of instinctual drives and primal inclinations so powerful and pervasive that understanding them becomes both an art and a science. Picture the delicate balance, like a fine-tuned instrument, where each note must resonate with perfect harmony to ignite a burning desire. This is where the laws of attraction transcend the superficial, stepping boldly into the realm of the visceral and the primal. To truly comprehend why the conventional blueprint of doing everything right unravels, you must dive into the cavernous depths of the subconscious mind. It is here that the primal instincts slumber, poised to awaken at the slightest indication of an evolutionary trigger. Consider the intricate dance of neurotransmitters. Dopamine, a potent molecule dictating pleasure and reward. It's the neurotransmitter of anticipation, a catalyst for excitement and desire, that courses through the veins in moments of mystery and unpredictability. Dopamine fuels the allure of the unknown, driving the compulsion to chase, to uncover, to conquer. When a man becomes a riddle yet to be solved, when his actions defy precise prediction, he inadvertently becomes the object of intrigue. Every interaction becomes imbued with a magnetic pull that is nearly impossible to resist. This is the dance of thrill and suspense written into our very DNA. Hence, the so-called bad boys possess an enigmatic quality that flickers like a flame in the dim recess of the subconscious. Their unpredictability reflects a genetic advantage, an instinctive whisper of vitality, of strength, of unyielding survival. In sharp contrast, the steady predictability of the dutiful and ever-accommodating man is akin to the predictable pattern of a ticking clock, safe, yet lacking the spark, the peril, and the promise of something grander. The bad boy charms with a promise of discovery that might, at any moment, meander into the uncharted. Yet, beneath the surface of what society showcases as rebellious charm is the scientific truth grounded in our ancestry. During times of uncertainty and danger, those who took bold risks survived, thrived, and passed on their genes. It is this ancient biological whisper that plays beneath the surface, urging women to feel drawn toward those who understand subtly how to wield this power, a power wrapped in unpredictability, yet anchored with a backbone of unwavering presence. The chemistry of the mind weaves the threads of oxytocin, the bonding molecule. It binds lovers, warriors alongside their kin, creating a tapestry of connection rooted in both the primal and the emotional. Yet, oxytocin thrives most wholeheartedly when laced with elements of vulnerability and strength. A narrative unfolds, one rich in paradox, of a man who, while providing protection and stability, maintains just enough edge to invoke yearning, desire, and the comfort of connectivity without surrendering to monotony. Where biology meets choice, there is a pathway forged in the consciousness that dictates behavior, a labyrinth of power dynamics and emotional resonance. This path is illuminated not merely by the light of reason but also by the shadows of instinct. Intimate relationships flourish when these elements collide and align, bringing forth an intimacy that transcends mere companionship to evolve into a profound adventure. Bear witness now to the subtle game of dominance, not the brutish caricature of strength but the silent, assured command of presence and influence. The evolutionary impulse does not grant supremacy to mere physical might but to the complex interplay of respect and autonomy. The dance of two energies intertwined in a shared rhythm. It is in this arena where true mastery lies, where a man must cultivate an emotional paradox, offering both sanctuary and adventure, steadiness and spontaneity, challenging her mind and embracing her soul. When all is considered, understood, and synthesized, you stand on the precipice of a truth once obscured in societal expectation. A truth that unveils itself not as a mere superficial alteration of demeanor but as a transformation of essence. To capture and maintain the spark of attraction goes beyond mere gestures. It demands an embodiment of complexity and charisma, a crafted interplay of authenticity and mystery. And thus, as you peer into the depths of your own capability, you discover the potential to shape your destiny through the mastery of instinctual knowledge. The realization dawns that every gesture, every whisper, and every enigmatic glance becomes a conduit of influence, painting a portrait of desire on the canvas of the subconscious. From this awareness, a new path emerges, waiting to be explored, inviting you to embrace the uncharted corners of your own nature while unraveling the mystique of hers. In the end, the pursuit of understanding is an adventure without a map, one where the lines are drawn through encounters, reflections, and revelations. As the curtain closes on this act of inquiry, the questions that linger remain as tantalizing as the journey itself. Stand now poised at the threshold, imbued with a newfound awareness, ready to delve further into this timeless odyssey. Sailing on the seas of mystery, let the winds of intrigue guide you onward. For this tale is far from over, and the mysteries of the mind are a limitless expanse waiting in silent anticipation. In the dim light of understanding, you stand on a threshold, a momentary pause before plunging deeper into the veiled intricacies of attraction and intrigue. You are drawn into a labyrinth of profound realizations, each echo vibrant with latent potential. This juncture invites you to appreciate the subtleties of female psychology as they entwine with the delicate threads of human desire. Every step forward is like shedding layers of a well-worn garment, revealing uncharted territories within yourself and the enigmatic others that compel your curiosity. It is the mystery within the predictable, the shadow behind the obvious, that draws both terror and fascination. To decipher the enigma of attraction, let us delve into the stirring underbelly of primal instincts. Women possess an innate radar, an evolutionary gift honed over countless generations. This radar senses the intangible, discerns the invisible vibrations woven through the expressions and actions of those around them. Consider the unsung role of dopamine, that clandestine neurotransmitter, pulsing like a quiet metronome in the background. It whispers within the brain, promising pleasure, rewarding novelty, and perpetuating anticipation. It's this illicit allure of the unknown that fuels desire and magnifies the thrill of uncertainty. As this powerful chemical messenger courses through veins, it collaborates with the formidable presence of oxytocin, the so-called love hormone. It's a tender architect weaving bonds, a gentle glue behind connections that appear instinctual. Together, they create a tapestry where desires are not solely about the fulfillment of wants but about craving the very essence of relation. They craft a narrative where attraction is the byproduct of subtle interactions and unspoken potential, nurtured by a deep biological dance that defies mere rational calculation. Observe, as well, how they respond to dominance. Not the brutish parody but a nuanced command of presence. It is the artful interplay of strength and tenderness, that complex duality, which captivates the feminine psyche. Within this duality lies the power to signal security and challenge simultaneously. A paradox born from millennia of evolutionary design. Women are the navigators of these paradoxes, their instincts finely tuned to appreciation and desire for a man who mirrors both the protector and the provocateur. Consider also the subtle power of contrast, the tantalizing ambiguity that keeps curiosity alive. As you present facets of yourself, now gentle, now formidable, you must master the art of duality. Only then can you personify what her ancestral memory has been conditioned to seek. This is not mere strategy. It is an understanding of human nature at its most raw and authentic. An echo of ancient survival that fuels the continuation of life itself. In every interaction, there echoes an instinctive, undeniable drive towards what seems unpredictable and novel, a signal encoded into our biology as surely as the color of your eyes. This signal triggers not just interest, but an elusive desire that seems to sculpt just outside the bounds of the conscious mind. Her interest could fade, yes, but not from the fickle whims of emotion alone. It evaporates like mist in the sun when predictable patterns and unyielding routines sap the vibrance from the connection, rendering it stable yet tragically static. Grasp the truth embedded in this narrative. Successful relationships don't merely thrive on calm seas. They derive sustenance from the storms that test their resilience. In weaving a tapestry of sustained intrigue, you nurture an environment rich with the unpredictability that keeps her engaged. The primal urge for continuity dances hand in hand with the thrill of the unforeseen. A symphony where each note is composed in real time, alive with possibility. Dwell upon these truths and consider how they manifest in everyday dynamics. The untamed, bad boy archetype juxtaposed against societal mandates of stability and propriety becomes more than a trope. It transforms into a manifestation of pure evolutionary impulse. Such men unwittingly tap into a reservoir of emotional complexity that resonates caustically with the limbic system. Their allure is rooted not in malevolence but in the art of eliciting a spectrum of emotions. A whirlwind tempest that enlivens the narrative. In this exploration, realize your role not as a manipulator of perceptions but as an artist painting upon a canvas as old as humanity itself. Herein lies the wisdom few articulate. The awareness that attraction is sparked by tension and sustained by a dance between predictability and innovation. Real-world relationships burgeon from these foundations, uniquely complex in their simplicity, echoing nature's dual legacy. By embracing this truth, you not only honor the woman before you but align with the authentic self buried beneath societal masks. As we draw near the conclusion of this chapter, imagine standing upon a precipice, one step away from further unraveling the paradox that lies at the heart of human desire. Each revelation, each insight uncovered leads you to a greater understanding and an awe-inspiring power to influence the unseen currents of attraction. What remains is a quiet, insistent whisper echoing within, a promise, perhaps, that this is merely the beginning of a journey into limitless understanding. The knowledge awaits, palpable yet elusive, promising deeper truths still hidden beyond the horizon of your current comprehension. As you venture into the recesses of this uncharted territory, you find yourself captivated by the whispers of a language that defies traditional lexicons, yet sings in the pitch of nature's most ancient sonata. This is a world where logic wanes and raw, undiluted emotion swells, a crucible of instinct and desire forged over millennia. Here, in the labyrinth of human attraction, each step echoes with the reminder that the path is intricate, veiled in shadows that dance with the flicker of curiosity and the pulse of the unknown. Attraction, once thought to be a mystical force beyond comprehension, is beginning to betray its secrets under the relentless inquiry of your gaze. It reveals itself not as a singular command but as a symphony of signals, an orchestra of chemical reactions that play the overture of human connection. At its heart lies the timeless interplay of dopamine, the mind's sweet narcotic that enkindles the fires of passion and anticipation, ensuring that her interest remains ever piqued. It is the currency of unpredictability, and the thrill of the chase manifests in every beat of the heart it touches. Consider the dopamine's role as the master conductor of this emotional symphony. Each note a whisper, a promise of something thrilling and uncharted. It's the rush she feels when uncertainty sparks and familiarity recedes. In this game of shadows, predictability becomes the villain, the saboteur of intrigue, staling the allure that binds her to your presence. Indeed, the brain craves variety and the possibility of new rewards with an insatiable hunger. painting desire with hues of intensity that elude the monochrome safety of routine. In this dance, oxytocin, often dubbed the bond builder, watches silently from the wings. It marks the crescendo of intimacy, knitting moments of shared vulnerability into a tapestry of emotional closeness. Yet, in the absence of mystery, even oxytocin's power wanes. The strength of its bond, you see, is tempered by the spark of novelty, the edge of excitement that whets the soul's appetite for adventure. It is a double-edged sword. This interplay, crafting connections that balance on the precarious edge of safety and thrill. The narrative of human attraction is not scripted in absolutes. It is an evolving legend penned in the language of primal reflex and adaptive advantage. The motifs of dominance and challenge, often dismissed in the modern discourse, are burnished with relevancy in the crucible of psychological necessity. Dominance, as misunderstood as it is necessary, speaks not of control but of assurance, of direction in a world fraught with uncertainties. It is the beacon in the fog, illuminating the path she yearns to tread. Yes, there is danger in this path, for the machinations of the mind can turn against the ill-prepared. Yet, for those who dare to navigate the waters of mystery, the prize is rich and enduring. It reveals a landscape where flirtation and enigma are allies, partners in the craft of emotional engagement. In this realm, vulnerability, the raw, potent essence of true connection, merges with the unpredictable, creating a narrative where every chapter inspires a turn of the page. So why, you might ask, does this dance with uncertainty spark such fervent engagement? The answer lies in our molecular code, written in the script of survival and evolution. The woman's psyche is a canvas upon which evolution has painted a preference for the resplendent tapestry of strength that promises security. Historically, her survival depended on deciphering these signals and aligning herself with the partner whose unpredictability was tempered by competence, whose mystery was enveloped in strength. In this light, emotional engagement becomes a leverage point, an evolutionary impulse echoing through time. The bad boy, he whose antics defy societal norms, is but a shadow of this impulse, a man who, through deeds or demeanor, embodies the fecundity of allure. Yet, this need not be your blueprint, for within every man lies the potential to recreate the push and pull, the magnetic force that defies simple forms. Intrigue, my friend, is a whisper carried soft against the gale, a mesmer within the chaos. As you traverse this labyrinth of attraction, you find the gifts of insight tucked amid the narrative's folds. You must endeavor to master not only the art of presence but also the delicate, deliberate crafting of absence, to craft moments steeped in nuance and subtlety, to engage with her on a plane that dares to explore both the darkened alleys of passion and the moonlit paths of tranquility. Authentic engagement is forged in the fires of complexity, where every encounter adds layers to the intimate portrait painted in her mind. The mind, as it wrestles with these thoughts, finds itself transformed. It is the alchemy of understanding, the embrace of psychological depth, that turns the key in love's secret door. The path is strewn with questions that await the daring, where you begin to wonder, will this journey lead you next? Your heart beats with the rhythm of discovery, the cadence of curiosity. You stand at the threshold of profound wisdom, poised to leap yet further into the depths where each revelation nudges against the other, waiting to collide with the truth. Shrouded in the mists of time, as the whispered echoes of your awakening reverberate within, the path unfolds with an alluring mix of clarity and complexity. It is as if the shadows themselves step aside, granting access to the forbidden corridors of understanding, the unseen blueprint of attraction. A hidden symphony composed by time itself. Though society's overtures often tune themselves to harmony and logic, the melody of desire dances to a rhythm that is ancient, untamed, and exquisitely unpredictable. The enigma persists. A woman's heart is both tender and tumultuous, capable of swinging between mystery and revelation. The very act of attraction is woven with threads too intricate to be catalogued by mere action, actions that are oftentimes predictable. that placate the surface yet neglect the abyss beneath. But it is here, within this abyss, that the true compass of connection points its unwavering needle. Let us move deeper, then, into the heart's clandestine theater, where nature presents its finest enigma. If the limbic system of the brain, with its emotional beacon, orchestrates the show, then it is neurotransmitters and ancient chemicals that script the dialogue. Foremost among them is dopamine, the thrilling whisperer of anticipation and reward, which sings the siren song of attraction. Imagine dopamine as a master weaver, threading anticipation through the tapestry of interaction. Encounters sculpted with unpredictability, with an essence of mystery that shrouds the ordinary, signal a potent elixir for this neurotransmitter. Here lies a cavernous truth. New experiences, challenges cloaked in veils, trigger its release, creating a cycle of thrill that the heart finds irresistibly magnetic. In contrast, predictability offers no such challenge, no such reward. It showers attention without asking for the steely resolve of pursuit, reducing the dance of attraction to a march of familiarity, a march leading nowhere. It is the ability to surprise that lights the way, to keep the dance alive with a rhythm that defies easy comprehension. For it is such space, where uncertainty reigns, that keeps the strings of connection taut and tuned. Consider a primal setting, where instincts lay raw and unrefined. Back then, unpredictability was not merely thrilling, it was a trait of the survivor. The innovator, the one who would thrive amidst evolutionary dynamics. In the evolutionary crucible, those who harnessed uncertainty, who bent it to the will of exploration and discovery, were those who held the keys to the future. Today, these impulses linger beneath the surface, scripting actions and decisions. The allure of dominance, not in crude power but in genuine confidence, ignites pathways in the psyche that are steeped in ancient wisdom. This dominance speaks in a language where leadership is quiet yet commanding, where presence radiates without shouting. Moving through this landscape means understanding the duality of vulnerability and strength, the paradox where true openness breeds the opportunity for profound connection. Oxytocin, the chemical of emotional bonding, thrives in environments rich in genuine intimacy, not bound by acts of superficial affection, but sculpted in the will to embrace emotional truth. Here, in the depth of vulnerability, unpredictability assumes a powerful guise, for it is when two souls reveal their imperfections and aspirations that they truly align. It is not about confining two paths into one but about creating a constellation wherein each light shines in its unique brilliance, without diminishing the other's glow. Yet the layers unfurl further, and with each revelation, the mind considers the emotional ramifications of evolving from simply doing right to being real, being present in the fluid dance of attention rather than plodding through pre-scripted steps. This authenticity becomes central to the narrative, sculpting interactions that trigger the fascination born of genuine discovery. Consider this, then, as the confluence of emotional and behavioral science, where real-life relationships become the playing field for these hidden truths. It weaves into the very fabric whereby communication defines connection, where differences are not walls but rather bridges to a deeper understanding. Misalignments morph into opportunities for growth rather than specters of failure. As each encounter becomes an opportunity for deep, emotional orchestration, a scenario unfolds where predictably pivoting towards openness crafts a relationship dynamic infused with novelty. Imagine a path where every silence sings, every glance narrates a story written not in words but in the language of emotional nuance, a tableau that keeps the heart engaged and the mind yearning. In this blend of understanding, where influence meets intuition, insights flourish like blossoms in fertile soil. It becomes clear that relationships are not checklists of actions done right, but alchemies of connection where subtlety reigns supreme. Gone is the control of predictability. In its place dwells a theater of emotional depth, where roles are played in a sequence unknown and unscripted. As this tale unfurls, You discover that relationships are vivid tapestries woven from threads of shared moments and parallel dreams. Paths untrodden become places of quiet resonance, of mutual discovery. In this realm, even the smallest acts hold cosmic significance, bridged by dopamine's whispered secrets and oxytocin's comforting embrace. This understanding, then, stands as both revelation and inquiry, a challenge to embrace uncertainty not as an adversary, but as a companion. It is not the end, but a new beginning. For when we ponder the full measure of these truths, we find ourselves on the brink of even deeper explorations. Each revelation hints at untold depths awaiting a mind that will conspire with its mystery. And as curiosity stirs the soul, the narrative beckons you to delve yet further. You embrace that the map of attraction is not a static artifact but a living entity, richly layered and infinitely nuanced. As you stand upon this precipice of discovery, remember that it is in the mystery where the heart earnestly resides, forever tracing the contours of the untold. And now you know, attraction was never a game of logic, but a mastery of mystery.